Rectory Park, which you might not be surprised to hear incorporates the grounds of the old rectory. And there's the old rectory itself. This thing may look like a monster from a Roger Corman B movie, but it's actually a chunk of rock from Italy. It's supposed to be a fountain, but appears not to be working at the moment. For a moment I thought this was an attempt at a maze. But on balance I think it's probably an attempt at a knot garden. If it seems a bit gloomy, it's because of the overcast weather. A bit of sunshine would give it a totally different aspect. This park once had a claim to fame insomuch as it had a hawthorn tree grown from a cutting from the famous Glastonbury Thorn. It was said to have been introduced by Bernard Gilpin, rector here from 1558 to 1583, and was thus known as the Gilpin Thorn. It succumbed to vandalism in the early 1990s. The good news was that a couple of new thorns had been grown from seeds and were planted in the park. The bad news was that they fell foul of another kind of vandalism around 2011 when the council chopped them down, ironically as part of a restoration of the park. So no holy thorn descendants no more. The first church here dated back to the late Saxon period, and was destroyed by Scots around 1318. However, excavations have suggested that it may have been built on the site of a stone circle or cairn. There have also been claims that a Roman temple may have existed on the site. Unfortunately, the church was closed on this visit. A little-known fact is that Lord George Sanger's mother is buried here. Sanger, who was a lord in the same way Screaming Lord Sutch was a Victorian showman who started with a peep show and ended up owning circuses and theatres. In his very readable autobiography, 70 Years a Showman, first published in 1910, Sanger tells us that his widowed mother had travelled north to join her son and his family at North Shields Fair, which was held on the first Friday in November. As he relates, on leaving Shields we were making our way to Darlington for the big mid-November fair there. Just as we were nearing Houghton-le-Spring, mother was taken suddenly ill and died within an hour of the doctor being fetched to her. He continues, I shall never forget in that time of misery the kindness we received at the hands of the good people of Houghton-le-Spring. The colliers and their wives showed us a tender sympathy that could not have been greater had we been relatives and close friends instead of travelling strangers. When the dear old lady was laid to rest in the beautiful little churchyard of St. Michael, they all turned out for the funeral, most of them bringing bunches of evergreens to strew on the grave as a tribute of respect. Their attitude touched me deeply. It was one of those spontaneous outpourings that now and again occur to remind us that men and women, however much divided by blood and race, are after all one kin, one family. And it has helped to make that sad occasion one of my sweetest memories. Sanger and family spent 4 days in Houghton before moving on to Darlington. He notes that he left money with a stonemason to erect a gravestone. This incident isn't dated, but as Sarah Sanger was indeed buried here sometime before 1854, when the churchyard was closed to burials.